Hi guys, it's Nurse in the Garden again. My name is Avalon. I am gardening here in New York, and this is 7B. I am in Queens, New York. Today I want to do some of my container gardening, and I would like to show you guys how I plant some of my peppers and my herbs that I want to plant up, because although I do have a lot of backyard space, I do just have a portion of raised beds that I'm planting in, and I like to do some container gardening with that as well. And initially I did a lot of container gardening, but this year I want to do container gardening and raised bed gardening. So I want to just take you guys along and let's get started. Today I want to pot up my oregano, and we planted this together a few months ago, so that was really fun. Some oregano, and then in the middle are, the name of it is called culantro, which is like a tropical herb. It's like the cousin of cilantro. Then I want to pot up my mint, which I did already for the most part, my parsley, which is kind of suffering, and my lavender I will also like to pot up. We planted that as well. And then I would like to pot on my thyme, and this kale is actually waiting to be planted in my raised beds. The weather has been very weird here, and also time, I haven't had the time to really plant and do things outside as I would like. I was also struggling with figuring out how to add soil to the beds, and like what soil I should buy and how much of it and the cost. But I was able to get some gift cards, and I also just like budgeted and I got some soil. So I actually have to fill up my beds, and I think that would be the next video that you guys will see. If that's not the next video of me planting up my beds, the next video will actually be a May tour, which is not much. Ooh, I really need to water my plants. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I have a bunch of my seedlings here, and I need to pot on and plant my raised beds. Like, my plants are gonna get root bound, they're gonna get stressed out, but I hope to do that this weekend. Anyway, so I also have basil here, which I'm planning on planting with my tomatoes, but I also have some more culantro over here. And I had planted two different seeds of culantro. It was seeds that I had saved, and then it was also seeds that I got from Trinidad itself. This marigold looking really sad right now, but I'm going to plant this on. I'm going to try to put that into like this very pretty yellow container that I have, and then actually plant one of these in my corn container as well. I'll take you guys for that. I had asked one of my co-workers to bring me a Scotch bonnet plant, and she bought me so many different plants. So this first one is a riri pepper, which I always wanted to plant, so this is really excited. I don't know how she knew that I wanted this. So it has 3 plants in here, but I technically just need 1, so I might just see who wants these other 2. I also have, I believe this is the Scotch bonnet. I was looking online and at the leaves, and it looks like this one is the Scotch bonnet. This one just happens to have no marker, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm only planting 1 of these. I have 2, thought I had 2. Oh, I have 2 of my pimento peppers here. And this one, I don't know if you guys can see, is getting new leaves, so that's really exciting. They were trying to put on flowers, and I had to pick those off, so here we are. And then this container, guys, used to have my spinach in it, but now my spinach has pretty much bolted, and there's like aphids on them. Looks like there's aphids or something. Either way, yeah, there's a ton of aphids. Wow, that's disgusting. I'm gonna pull all this out and put this in my compost, and I'm gonna replant this with some of my herbs as well. So I brought you guys down a little bit, and I already, I'm just gonna bring it over. So these containers here, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll bring it down a little bit more. Okay. So these containers here are self-watering containers, and I had put soil in here before. I already amended it with garden tone, and then I put compost on the top. So it's been sitting here for a bit, so I'm just gonna kind of chop up a little bit of the soil, just make it a little bit more workable. And as I said, I already put garden tone and compost at the top. So I think the first thing I'm going to actually plant today are my peppers. So I'm just gonna make a hole, and I'm gonna plant my first pepper of 2022. And I actually need to make a I think I made some tags already, but the roots look pretty okay. It's not crazy root bound or anything like that. So I'm just gonna set this in there, and there we go. My first pimento plant is planted. So I wanted to put containers my peppers in containers because it did well last year, and I like the ease of having it as well. I do have a lot more peppers, but right now that's what I'm going to do with some of my other peppers. Although I have like 2 raised beds to fill up right now, I'm going to just be very selective in what I put in the raised beds compared to what I put in my containers. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna dig a hole, and I'm gonna plant my other pimento pepper in here as well. And this was, it's weird, my seeds, when I got my seeds, some were blue, like dyed blue, some were dyed green, and some were dyed red. And I don't know why that was the case. So I ended up just planting the different ones to see what would happen. So these are the pimento greens that I'm putting in here. Just as far as the seed being green, I don't know why the seed was actually green. I'm just gonna chop up this one as well. I don't know why it got so hard. I guess it just dried out in general. I'm just gonna mix it up. And then I'm gonna water these in really, really well. So this compost that I got wasn't perfect. I got it from the Queen's Botanical Garden, but it has some imperfections to it as far as just larger pieces that wasn't able to be broken down. And then, you know, you still see some stickers and things like that. That was actually a big rock from the potting soil that I buy. Anyway, I'm gonna dig a hole, and I think I'm gonna put a riri pepper in here. And those riri peppers are very hot, and I believe we use that in our cooking in Trinidad as well. So I'm just going to actually use that marker and get this pepper out. All right, a lot of roots. Just gonna loosen it up a bit so it could wake on up. There we go. That one's planted. And then I'm going to mulch the bed once it starts to grow and get a little bit hotter, I'll start mulching. It's still been pretty seasonably cool here in New York, so I think I'm okay with not mulching it just yet. So I'm gonna choose which plant. I'm not gonna take this one because this one has some sort of like flower bud. And then let's take a look. I'm gonna take, I don't know why I always do this, but I always take the smaller one. I always take the one that's a little bit small. Oh my gosh, look how many roots. So this plant has been sitting around for a bit. A little bit root bound, but that's all right. I'm sure it will catch itself. With all the nutrients in the soil, it will do just fine. So hopefully it is a Scotch bonnet plant, because that'll be a surprise to see something else. All right, so I got 4 containers all set up. That's exciting. And thing I was trying to tell you guys before about these containers, these are self-watering containers. So after a few weeks after the roots start to go down to the bottom of this container, I could just wet on the inside, like water inside this bottom part, and the roots will suck it up. So I won't really have to top water the plants. And what's really good about that as well is that I don't have to worry about wetting the leaves and things like that. I can mulch the top and then it should stay nice and dry. So right now I am going to work with this container. As I said, there are a ton of aphids on these plants, and I'm gonna pull out all of these. This was a kale I was trying to save, but it's just gonna have to go into the compost bin. Oh, you guys really didn't see that, huh? Sorry. All right, so I ended up just pulling the plant out the root. All right, just gonna move about this soil a little bit. Let's see what's going on down here. So many aphids in that soil. Oh my, on the plant. It's crazy. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a little bit more compost to this container. I'm going to add some more feed to this container, fertilizer I should say, not feed, but fertilizer to this container as well. And I am going to now plant my herbs in here. So a little bit of garden tone. And I don't know if I had shown this in a last video, but some animal came and bit my garden tone bag. So I can't open it from the top. So I'm just gonna mix this in. And dig loads. So that's all mixed in, and now I'm going to add some compost, and then I am going to, all right, compost is looking nice. It rained a whole ton, so it's a little bit wet in this bag, but that's all right. I think I need another bag of compost, but go get that in a moment. Right now I am going to plant my oregano in this entire container because I believe that oregano is a bit invasive. And these containers, it is really hard for me to get. Oh, awesome. I was able to pop these out really easy. I want to be able to reuse some of these next year. Just a little bit difficult to get it out without it tearing. So my roots are looking a little bit, you know, stressed, but that's understandable. This stuff has been sitting in this little container for a very long time, but look at the plant. It's absolutely beautiful, and it smells so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant one here. I'm gonna plant one here. A little bit further in, and then plant it. And then I'm going to plant one on this side. Okay. And then what I'm going to do to give this bed some flair, I am going to plant a flower. So let's see how I can get a flower out without really damaging the plants. So I have 4 in here, so I think I'm just gonna go for it, see what happens. Oops. I think I want to put this one, so I'll put this one. Beautiful. That will help to deter some pests. Look how beautiful. Look how nice. I just have to water this in. This looks amazing. That looks great. All right, so I came down a little bit lower so you guys can see my face. I actually had to go inside and get a citronella stick. I don't know if you guys know about these citronella sticks. I actually found these in Dollar Tree. How exciting. I know they have a lot of different ones, but these are really big, like really long. And I hope they work really well. So I'm just gonna stick this right in here because I saw a mosquito trying to come at me. And right now, oops, I am not about that life. All right, so let's make sure that I don't get bit right now. It's such a nice day here in New York. See the mosquito trying to come at me. Okay, such a nice day compared to the weekend. It was super hot, so hot, uncomfortably hot actually. And it's a little bit too early for it to be that hot, so I was not enjoying it at all. I mean, I enjoyed it a little bit, but not that much. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my culantro plant, and this particular one are the ones that came from Trinidad, like the particular seed. My other one is from like when I planted it last year, and though that particular seed was like that plant, oh my god, I hear a bee. Oh my gosh, there's a bee, guys. If you saw my last video, you know that I'm not a full fan of bees right now. Yeah, anyway, so that particular plant, I got so distracted. I got it from like on the street someone was selling, and I wasn't sure about that particular plant because the plant didn't really grow that well. It kept flowering despite it being super hot. I just think something was just wrong with that particular plant. So I'm gonna also mix it with so this particular plant right here in this corner is the one from Saved Seeds. So I'm just gonna put that there as a reminder for myself. So I did 4, kind of covered it up because they're small plants, but they're gonna grow really big. The leaves, as you can see, grow pretty big and long. So I'll be showing you guys that as time goes on, really how they grow. All right, so just trying to make sure that they're not all covered up. All right, so that's my culantro that's planted. Look at that. So that's planted out, and now I'm gonna plant out, I have one more container. I have 2 back there, but one of them is a little bit broken at the bottom. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna plant in there just yet, but right now I'm gonna plant out my marigolds. These are so pretty, so pretty. I just hate that they have been suffering for so long. All right, so I'm gonna plant these out. I'm gonna put a little bit of compost in here as well. Some really great compost I got, despite it being like not perfect because, you know, it's from like the community as far as like people just like bringing in compost, but it'll be fine. Okay, I think, oh my gosh, this mosquito is trying to ruin my life tonight, and I don't like that. I don't like it. Hold on. Sorry guys. Mosquito break. Okay, so I'm gonna plant this down in there. And this one may not survive, but I do see a bud coming up. So we're gonna plant that in as well. Look how pretty. I just gotta rinse everything off, but look how beautiful. Look how nice. And then this one is gonna kick in at some point. So that's amazing. I am so happy to finally get all these planted and to take you guys along with me because this stuff needed to be planted out. I have been dying to plant these things out, so I'm just so happy that finally I got it planted out. All right, so this is my Thai basil, and I'm gonna figure out, I think I'm gonna put it in the broken container. So I think it'll do just fine. My parsley, I'll put it in the other container. I think that would do fine. Oh, guys, I forgot. I have another container that has strawberry corms that did absolutely nothing. Like, I don't know if I did it wrong, but guess what? I literally have no time for trying to figure this out right now. I have a new strawberry plant, which I'm very excited about. This just did nothing, and I don't even know if they were good. Like, I feel bad to throw them out, but guys, they did nothing. They did nothing at all, and I don't know if that's just the way strawberry plants act. I have no idea, but they did nothing. So I'm taking these out, and I am going to, again, just add a little bit more garden tone to this container. And I'm gonna add a little bit more compost. And let's get this working here. So in here, I'm going to put my parsley. I have parsley in the garden, hear me. I have parsley in my raised beds, and I have parsley now in my container, which would be a little bit closer to my back door, so that I can, anytime I want to get some parsley, it's really close. I would like to dry parsley this year. I'm considering getting a dehydrator and to dry up my herbs so I can save. I don't think I'm gonna have a whole great deal, but you know, it'll be nice to dry some and have, and see if I could grow a good bit of it throughout the summer. All right, so that's garden tone. Now I'm gonna put some compost at the top here. This still has a bunch of like bigger pieces, but that is because I wasn't really fully able to sift it as effectively as I would like to when I went to go get the compost, but that's okay. Those little pieces will actually help as mulch. So now this is my parsley. I'm gonna, oops. Yeah, these containers were not it. They were very, very affordable. So I'm not mad that they're breaking. It's just like, dang it, I would love to repurpose it and reuse it. Well, not really repurpose is the word, but reuse it next year, but that's fine. All right, roots are not terrible. I'm just gonna loosen it a bit. Plant was suffering a little bit, as you can see, yellow leaves. But I think in another day or so, I'm going to come out and I'm going to, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to, sorry guys, being distracted. I am going to do some fish emulsion. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. What else should I plant in here, guys? I have this one, oh gosh, this dwarf plant here, and I'm gonna put it right in here. I think it would do just fine. That's beautiful. And I'm trying to see what else I can plant in this area. I want to utilize this space in a good way. You know, I just don't want to fill it and then not pay attention to what I'm doing and like be mindful of it. The thyme I think is very invasive, so I'm not going to put that with this particular plant, with this particular container. So I'm just gonna leave this container like this for now. How nice, right? So happy. Like, guys, you have no idea how long I've been wanting to plant out my containers. So this basil is just gonna have to hang out for a little bit longer. I have a bunch of tomato plants and I wanna interplant my basil with my tomato plants. All right, so I have 2 more containers. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill that up. So as I said, this particular container is broken, so it's not going to be able to hold a lot of water, but so I think I'm going to put my thyme in here because I know that's a little bit more hardy as far as not getting watered and things like that. And then my Thai basil. I'm gonna put it in the container that's actually not broken. All right, so which one is my broken container? Oh, my broken container, my thyme is going in there. So I don't know if this thyme is like the variety we would use in like our normal cooking, but who doesn't love thyme? Okay. So I'm just gonna add some compost to the top here. Take out some of the big pieces. Whoa, there's a worm. All right, you could stay in there, buddy. I was surprised I didn't see a worm before. There's another worm. Ooh, this is some good compost, guys. All right. So without trying to disturb the worm, I'm gonna put one here. I'm gonna put one here. Oops. I'm gonna put one here. It's my neighbors, guys. And I'm gonna put one here. Oops. Good. Good, good, good. This smells beautiful. It smells so good. All right, that's all planted in. Love it. There goes that. Maybe I'll find some more worms in this really lovely compost. Okay, and in here we are putting Thai basil, if I could find where I put it. I really overplanted when we did this earlier this year, but I just kind of was trying things out, so I might actually end up thinning it out. Oops, I am breaking roots off, guys. I might actually thin these out a little bit because I don't want it to be too overcrowded, and to be honest, I don't need that much Thai basil because I'm gonna save it, but I don't need that much Thai basil where I'm like, I need all these plants. All right, I'm gonna put this. Oh. I like how this one looks. So I'm gonna put it in here. And it's planted. Just like that. Everything is planted out. So this one, I will just keep, actually I'll just shove it in another container over here. My poor kale, everything is just getting so yellow and just trying to hold on for dear life, but it's okay. We will figure this out. My lavender, I want to put it into one of these smaller containers that I have. I think I can put it in, I think I want to put it in this one because I feel like it's a better size for the lavender. So I'm just going to put one plant each into a different container. I think that'll be the best bet. And okay, let's see. Without disturbing Mr. Worm, I'm going to plant it in right over here. Oh, many worms. All right, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Worm. All right, sorry. We are good to go, guys. Lavender planted. Now I am in a sea. I am in a sea of containers, which I am not too mad about. I'm actually gonna go throw my pollarded plants. I actually have another spinach plant over there. I don't know if you guys could see a spinach plant right over there. Right over there, I think, if I'm pointing correctly, that needs to be pulled out as well. I have a little bit more soil that could be potentially with one of my smaller containers. I don't know what I'm gonna put in there. Maybe I'll do like a very small amount of like basil in a smaller container, but I don't see myself really doing that. Okay, so I have planted 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have planted 15 containers. Did I count that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 containers. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so happy. Oh, you don't understand how busy I've been and just life, and I couldn't plant any of these things out, so everything is planted. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me and watching me plant these things out. As I said, the next video might be a garden tour for May, and then I'm going to place these containers into the place that I like strategically place them. I'm going to place some over by my raised beds, and I'm going to water all these in. And thank you guys so much for watching, and you'll see me next time.